Winners and Whiners group, it's me, Detroit Lenny here, joined with Scott Reichel. Talk some more college football playoff action here. We're not going to do a live show, folks. We're just going to break down both games for you individually, two different videos. So don't forget, make sure you hit that like button, share, subscribe, drop in the comment section what you're into, interactive. Put in there, side, total, or otherwise. Let's get after it. Let's recap our best bet from the semifinal round first, or quarterfinal round, I should say. Notre Dame, Georgia, under 44.5. No doubt winner, Scott Reichel.
Yeah, the game was hideous. We thought it was going to be. Fact is, we even survived the kickoff return touchdown. That's how ugly the offense actually were in this game. Notre Dame, we thought would drain clock. Stockton did not scare us at all, and for good reason, because he was not very good. So never in doubt, game ended up flying under, and the game line at 33. So can't complain.
Can't complain there. Let's talk Notre Dame and Penn State. Irish minus two-ish. Total 45.5, 46. Shop your lines. What are your thoughts here on this matchup?
Yeah, so Penn State, looking at the actual seeding, if you care about that stuff at this point, Penn State is technically the better seed, as Penn State's the 6, Notre Dame is the 7. Now, Notre Dame has faced off against arguably better competition here because they faced off against Georgia and they faced off against Indiana. Most people are not impressed by Indiana, but then again, Penn State got SMU and Penn State. So, SMU, and they ended up getting Boise.
Yeah.
They got Boise and SMU, I mean. So, point is that the argument is Penn State maybe doesn't deserve to be here because they got two teams that, let's just say, were not viewed highly by the public when it comes to college football. At the same point, though, Penn State still looked good against Oregon, lost in the conference title game. They gave Ohio State a run for their money, ended up losing that game earlier in the year. So they have kind of looked the part. The problem is you still have James Franklin as your coach, and people are waiting for him to self-destruct. Now, for Notre Dame, they ended up beating Indiana, who most people were not thrilled with either, and they beat Georgia, which I feel like is viewed as an impressive win because they won the conference title game. But I still don't think Stockton's any good, and I feel like they beat up on a team with no quarterback. So I understand why Notre Dame's favored, just based on the fact that Georgia does have a greater reputation than SMU and Boise combined, and they won that game comfortably. However, the scheduling was a bit weird because they had to move the game a day later, and Penn State's game was first. So there was actually more prep time in favor of Penn State for this matchup, if you care. I'm going to ask you first about the actual side because I understand why Notre Dame's favored. I might actually go Penn State here. I kind of like the extra prep time, and I feel like people are kind of underestimating how good this Penn State team actually is. Not saying it's going to be an easy win by any means, but I feel like if you're asking me right now which team has kind of just impressed me over the course of the season more, you can make an argument for Penn State because they've beaten these two teams in the playoff, SMU and once again, a Boise team that people were not thrilled with. They won both games very comfortably. I feel like Boise State once again passed all the tests. They barely lost to Oregon, and Penn State walked in and kind of smacked them. So I think Penn State at this point might be a bit undervalued. Is that fair?
Sorry, my neighbor's leaving. I think they're a little overvalued here, but I'll be honest with you, I'm in the same boat. Maybe I'm just public here, but I just don't believe Penn State. I don't think they beat Boise, they beat SMU in the playoffs like they should beat them. Maybe they had smaller opponents, but they beat them the way they should beat them, pretty handedly. I think Notre Dame was expecting to be here. I think they've stayed the course all year. And if you came down to it, I'm going to take Notre Dame's coach over Penn State's coach all day.
I mean, I think Freeman's done a good job with this team. Mm-hmm. I feel like Leonard has been fine. He hasn't really had to do anything for the sake of this actual
world beaters, but yeah.
I mean, I just feel like if they faced off maybe a round or two ago, Penn State's probably favored in this game, and I don't think Penn State's done anything. They haven't had any missteps to suggest that Notre Dame should now be a big favorite. I just don't feel that way. I feel like these teams are very close. I think it should be close, and we're going to get into the total in a second.
Yeah.
But I'm picking an ugly game, and I feel like for value, I don't see much value on Notre Dame. They have less prep time. They had a weird schedule because of what happened over there in New Orleans. It just feels like Penn State might be a bit undervalued right now, in my opinion. Because I think they would have been favored if this happened a round ago. You agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that. Even though I think on the sidewise, I'm still on Notre Dame.
I'm just a lot lower on Georgia. I'm just a lot lower on Georgia than most people because I thought Stockton wasn't very good, and I thought Georgia was underachieving most of the year. So people are crowning Notre Dame. I'm just not as impressed. We both picked Notre Dame to win that game.
Yeah,
So I'm just
exactly.
not that shocked. People are going, wow, Notre Dame looks so dominant. I mean, I don't think Georgia could move the ball. And
Mhm.
I thought Penn State's defense looked good against Boise, and I thought they looked good against SMU. So I'll go Penn State on the side. I prefer the total, though. I know we both do.
Mhm.
It's why we're going to give that out. We're going to do a best bet, by the way, for both games
Yeah.
individually. So that's the new format change for the semis and for the title game. We're going to do a best bet for each game. So we like the under, again, with
Yeah.
Notre Dame at 46. Cashed in the quarters. We're going to run it back. Notre Dame did nothing to suggest they're going to be getting themselves into a high-scoring game. Notre Dame knew the defense was going to be great, and they proceeded to run the ball down, or at least they tried to run the ball
Yeah.
down Georgia's throats. They drained a bunch of clock. Riley Leonard was told, don't do anything stupid. We'll set up some play action. You're going to run, but we are going to milk a bunch of clock. And they did. They won the game comfortably. Once again, 33 points with a kickoff return touchdown. So Notre Dame offensively only scored 16. Didn't really do much to wow me. Penn State's defense, I think, is fine. I think Penn State's offense with the hour can be hit or miss as well. So I see a lower scoring game. You have a lot
Yeah.
of nerves as well. It's a big game for both programs. I think it's going to be an ugly game. 23-20 comes down
Yeah.
to the wire. But 46 feels a bit high with Notre Dame and how much they want to actually drain clock with possession. And Penn State doesn't go that fast either. So I don't mind a pretty low scoring game. Give me the under at around 46.
Yeah, I'm all over this under. I like it at a teaser too, like up to like 52 and under or 51 and a half, wherever you get this number at. But I'd take it up and under. I like the teaser in every which way, shape, or form today in this game. I like Penn State with points in a teaser, but I think Notre Dame, it's going to drop down, I think, a little bit. I think you'll be able to get money line, probably 130-ish somewhere, and I'd be comfortable with that. I think they win this game, but it ain't pretty. I don't think this game is pretty. So under 46 is our best bet. Look for the other game coming out, Ohio, Texas. That'll be out too. We'll have a free pick on that. Excuse me. Don't forget, guys, like, share, subscribe, drop in the comment section what you're into, side total, proper, otherwise. Till then, our best bet in the Notre Dame Penn State matchup, we're going under the total. Good luck unless you're against us. Take care.